Morning, ladies and gentlemen, to... Okay, I lost track of the chapters. I guess it's the 6th chapter, but I don't know. So, welcome to next chapter of the How to Make a Game tutorial. Last time we ended up... Let me just put this here. Okay, so what we can do is selecting and attacking, but yeah, as you can see, nothing happens when we attack. And this is something we should work on, I guess. So... let me just start this up again. So what we want to do is we want to send little tiny guys from here to there and attack this guy. So what we first need is obviously little tiny guys. First of all, I will just add a new picture for them, which is called enemy normal in this case. It should be, there it is, okay. So just that for the picture, let me just put that in real quick. Let's call that just unit, and where are the textures there? Unit is equal to new content load texture. Let's go that 2D, and it's called enemy normal small. All right. Okay, but yeah, we need another class, I guess, because we already have the circuits class, and this was pretty useful. So we are going to add a new class, which will be the unit then. So we make a new element, and wait, a new class, and we call that unit. Unit. All right, and just quickly copy the header just to have everything we need. Okay, class unit. What does the unit have? Okay, let's think about it. It has definitely a position. It has an owner. What else? It has probably a velocity because it's moving. Yeah, and it has a target, I guess. I guess these are the things we really should think about. So we make a constructor. No, let's make the variables first. Okay, we got public vector, which is the position. We got a public vector, which would be the velocity. We have what comes next? The owner, so public int owner, and target, and we make that a circle. Okay, I don't know if I forgot something, maybe, but we could add that later. So anyways, the constructor will be, oh, why is that small? This should be big, by the way. Sorry. Okay, so public unit, and we make it vector to position, vector to velocity, an int owner, and a circle target. Alright. And then this position is equal to position, this velocity is equal to velocity, this owner is equal to owner, and this target is equal to target. Target, alright, okay. Beautiful. Okay. Then next thing we can also add is the update function. Oh, okay, that was wrong. Public void update, oh my god. Okay. And yeah, we can also add the tick variable just here, because we will need it anyways, and set that to 0 and increment it right here. Come on. Okay. So far so good. So let's assume we have a position and a velocity. So what we need is we have to think about the collision between the unit, which comes out of from this circle and comes into that circle. So we need to check whether this little guy is intersecting that guy. There are a lot of possibilities to do that. well, we could either just send them here and send them as long as it doesn't intersect with any circle, and if it intersects with the circle, it just will hit the circle. That would be a problem if there are two circles directly behind each other. Or we could set the target just so that the unit only hits the circle it should hit and flies through the other circles. But a friend of mine just told me, or he had this idea that we just take the distance and just measure if the distance from both circles are is passed by the unit, and then just consider it hit. So we'll make that. Since I haven't implemented that, it will be a bit of improvising improvising from my side, but yeah, so has been the whole tutorial, so I guess that's okay. So what we need is the distance between those circles, and I guess we should pass that as an float. Let me just make that a public float. I don't know why I make it public, but I can do it, so I do it. I know this is kind of bad programming habit, but it works for this. Okay, so let's assume that velocity is scaled to 1, so that the velocity vector has the length 1. So what we can do is we can assume that the distance as an integer is the number of times we have to move the unit so that it's so it has to travel so it arrives at the target circle. So okay, let's make it as an example. We have this circle and that circle, and let's assume the distance between those two is about, let me see, this is at 200, this is at 600, so the distance is between them is 400. And if we have a velocity which travels one distance per tick, that means that we can just cap the amount of ticks to 400, and after 400 ticks the unit should be there. And I guess we just try it out if that works. Okay, so we got the distance right here, and we just set the what do we do? No, we just make it an int right here. Okay, code is already running. Let's make it an int right here, and public int distance. Okay, and now we'll see if tick is greater or equal than distance. Yeah, what do we do? Okay, now we have two possibilities. Either we set a boolean like is alive to false, or we make it another way, and this would be making the update to an int function and return specific values for the states of the thing. So first of all, we just return return 0 if nothing happens, and if we have the if the tick is greater than the distance, that means that we passed the circle we wanna hit, then we return a 1. Okay, this looks really messy right now, so let's make it just that way. Okay. And I guess, yeah, okay, but now still the circle isn't moving, so what we are going to do is we will create, or we will update the position, so position is plus equal the velocity, assuming the velocity is a normalized vector. Okay, so now, yeah, I will just stay that, or leave it like that right now. So now we have to create units, and we will do that in circles. So we had this attack function which we created but not filled, and I think we're going to do that now. So the idea behind it is every time we attack an enemy circle, we want to take half of the units and send them. I mean, it's kind of arbitrary if you make it half or 1/3 or 1/5 or I don't know. but we will make it half. Send half the units. Okay. So we make a for loop, and I is equal to 0. I is smaller than. Let me just see on the another monitor what I got here. Okay, I got it that way. Yes, so we have the unit count, divide that by 2, obviously, and increment I. So, and just so that we don't forget it, it's unit count minus equal unit count half. Okay. So, yeah, now we will unit. Okay. No. What I'm missing is we need something to contain all the units from this specific circle. So we will make a public list unit units is equal to new list unit. All right. And now we will create the units. So units add new unit, and now we need a position. So the thing is, we could put in the circle position, but this would result in every unit spawns in this circle, directly at the midpoint of the circle. So we would only see one unit, because every unit would be on the same spot. So what we are going to do is we will introduce a random RND. Do I have to make that new? I don't know. Let me see. RND. Yes, I have to. So let me just make it here. RND is new random. Okay. So now we will just make a vector here. New vector. Let's call it offset. So vector to off. Oh god, it's too early for me, guys. Equal to a new vector. Make that 0, 0. Okay, and now we make offset dot x and set that to RND next. This is by the way the syntax of the random function in XNA. And we will make that RND next 0.50 minus 25. Okay, so this would create a random value between 0 and 50 and subtract 25 from it. So we have a range from minus 25 to plus 25, which is okay if we look at the circle sizes. Okay, so this is for the x-axis, and we will make the same for the y. 0, 50 minus 25. Okay, and now we have the new unit, and let us take position plus offset. Alright. Velocity is something we can actually calculate before that. So velocity is a new, or no, let's make it that way. It's position minus c dot position. Okay. So let me just. Oh, I haven't finished that yet. So that should be okay. So we take the middle of that position, that is, let me see, this position, and we subtract that position, this here, and so we have a velocity between those two. Let me see, but I think I have to turn that around, so it should be c position minus position. I always get this screwed up because I don't really want to think about it. And then we normalize the velocity to have it normalized, basically. Okay. Oh, actually we can't do that here. I just realized we have to do that here, because we have not only the position, but we have the offset already. So in order to, oh, let me think. Yes, I think we should make the offset. Plus the offset. Okay. So now we can make it that way. Now the velocity, we can just put that in here. The owner of this is our owner, and the circle target is C, and the distance is okay, that is kind of screwed up. Okay, let's make it an int distance. I know it's kind of messy, but yeah, that's just how it is. So distance is equal to velocity dot length. All right. So again, oh yeah, let's make that an int. So again, this is kind of messy, and I don't really know if this is positive or negative. Again, length should be positive all the time, but we will see in a few minutes. So we take the distance. Okay, and now we have a new unit added. Okay, but still that unit won't move since we don't call its update function. And now we will do that. So we have our update function right here. And we will just, for each unit u in units, yeah, we will have to, okay, so I will now do if u.update, okay, this will return, oh no, it's not a boolean, it's a integer, so we switch the update and get something out of it. Okay, so in case it's 0, case 0, nothing happens. Case 1, we have to delete it. But actually, we can't delete a unit out of the list while going through the list, which is yeah, I think it's really an issue. For the list object itself. So we will just make a list which contains units, and we call that delete unit. Okay, we call that delete, and we make it new list. Okay. So the thing with the delete list is, if the unit should be deleted, we will add it to the delete list. So delete.add u. All right. And after we switch to all, and we need to break, hammer time, now we have to delete that. So for each unit u in delete, we take units and remove u, and then we clear delete. Clear. Okay. So this should work, I guess. Let us see what happens. Oh no, we won't see anything because we don't draw it. So we should change that, and we make a new function out of this. So we have draw background to our circles. Now we have draw units, and we make this just here. So protected void draw units. Sprite batch begin. Sprite batch end. No. Yeah. Okay. For each circle, draw all the units. Okay. Okay. So for each circle, C in circles player 1. For each unit u in C dot units. Okay, and we double that, or okay, we can double that later for the other guy. Okay. So what we need is a draw. So sprite batch draw. we had the unit, so we just take unit, a new rectangle, units dot x, no, it's u dot position dot x, u dot position dot y, unit dot width, unit dot height. Okay, what do we need? We have the whole rectangle. We have what do we have for player 1 as a color? I guess it's light blue. Okay. Unit height. Okay, so color light blue. Okay. Wait. Oh, this should be here. Color. Oh, we have no rotation right now. The origin is obviously a new vector, which is the half of the unit width and half of the unit height. Width half and unit height half. Okay. Sprite effects none and 0 as a layer depth. Okay. So yeah, we need to make this int and that again, and okay, that's works. Okay, and now the same for player 1, player 2. But we have that. We will make that dark orange. Okay, or no, it's red orange, right? Orange red. Okay. Orange red. Okay. So let us see if it works. So, now we should attack somebody, and we will do that. Okay, so we get our little icons drawn here, and now they should disappear, and they do. Okay, this is awesome. We already have, and as you can see, the things are getting lower, the amount of units in there, and I guess it works. And you can start playing around with that already, but yeah, it really looks a bit ugly, because all of these are not really pointing in the direction they are flying. So we should change that, I guess. Units. Okay, so as we had with the circles, we need to add a rotation, because we haven't already. Okay, so for the rotation, we have to make that depending on the let's make that a public float, rotation, okay, so rotation is equal to 0. Okay, so rotation is equal to, and now we take a float, and the math so it's the tangent, or the arcus tangent of the velocity dot x divided by the velocity dot y. Okay, so this just works. And if the velocity dot y is smaller or equal 0, then we have to turn that around. So rotation is equal to rotation minus 180 degrees times 3.1 2. Okay, I don't know the exact number of pi, so let's make that just math pi, and divide that by 180. Okay, that's, what have I done there? Okay, no, we don't need to divide that, we can just subtract pi. Okay. So, oh, that's a double. Let's make that a float then. Okay, yeah, we should probably make that in brackets. Okay, so I guess now we should add the rotation to our drawing, and we'll see if it works. There's the rotation, and we add the rotation. Oh, it's obviously u dot rotation. And again, u dot rotation. Let's see. Okay, so attack and oh, yeah. That's somehow wrong. So just make that negative here and here, and I guess we should make that so, and is equal to 0. We will just make that really small so that it's not 0, so we have no problem. Oh, we should make that right here. As a float, obviously. So we don't have trouble here dividing through that. Okay, we can make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so let us try this again. And now it works. Okay, this looks awesome. And we already have, I guess, somehow a game, but it's not funny because you can't win. And what's the purpose of a game if you can't win? So first of all, what we could improve is every target is now is now targeting the center spot of the enemy circle. We could make that a random position as well, but yeah, I don't know if it's necessary. I guess you can just try to make that as an exercise for yourself. So this would. Oh, I just closed up game. I have no game. Okay, so we have the offset for the starting position, and we can just for the target circle position we can just change the position there here in the velocity, so it will fly to another location, which is based off as an offset again. So okay, now we are sending something, but we're not receiving it. So we will need a public void hit, and I guess what we also need. Oh no, let's make it hit, and this will make the unit count minus minus. Okay, so but let's first check if the unit count is actually greater than 0. Okay, so now we have to check if it hit, or now we know that it hit, but we're just deleting it. So what we can do is we can hit the circle. So we have the target of the unit. So u.target, and we have to make the target special for each unit, because you can attack multiple enemy circles with your own one circle. So if you just save the target for that circle, like right here we make a public circle target or something, then every unit would have the same target, and you can't attack multiple circles with one circle. So this has to be has to be a property of each unit. So if it hit, then we hit the enemy. Okay, so I guess this should work. Let us see if it does. Okay, flying, 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 and it's hitting. Nice. Okay. Let me just attack this. Okay. But yeah, we should already own this circle, because yeah, we invested quite a lot of things in there. So now we have to make this circle our circle, which is I guess the last thing I will do in this chapter. So yeah, this is just another game mechanic. When do we want to overtake the enemy circle? And we will do this with we'll do this here. So if the unit count, oh, we can just make it an else right here. Else, and now we have a little problem, because we can just change the owner right here. We have it. It's basically just an integer. But if you change the owner, the game still has the circle in the wrong list, so we need to transfer them from one list to the other list. So we make a boolean is change owner, and we make that false, obviously. So change owner is false, please. Okay. And we will set the change owner to true. Okay. So did I make it public? I made it not public. Public. Okay, let me just. Okay, I just copy paste the wrong thing. There you go. Okay. So and now after we updated every particle or every circle, we can check for each circle. Okay. Now after the update, or after all the circles have been updated, we could check if the circle has to be switched for the yeah, you know, if the circle has to be switched from one list to the other. Okay, so now we're doing this here. So we have if c dot change owner is multiply. Okay, public bool. Oh, sorry. This is kind of messy. If change owner is true, okay, then we will have to delete it from player 1 and add it to player 2. So we need our delete list again. So list circle delete is a new list circle. Alright. And where is it? There it is. Delete add C. Then we add it to player 2 circles player 2 add C. And C owner set it to 1 since it's the computer, and C switch owner change owner to false. Alright. And after we finish that, we will just for each circle C and circles player 1 I'm so confused. Delete. We will circles player 1 remove C. Okay. And afterwards we will clean up the delete list. So delete clear. And we will do that again for player 2. So if the computer attacks us or the AI attacks us, it should do the same, but it should do it obviously reverse. And we have the same here, but for now it should remove these. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's attack this guy with multiple enemies, so we can actually kill him. Okay. Now you see what happens when you attack your own circle, if it's like already your own circle, because it will start changing his you know his owner, because if you look at the code, if it hits, then it hits, and then it will here hit and change the owner because it's 0. So we have to check whether the owner is actually the same owner as the target owner. So we make that here, where we update the units. So if u.owner is equal to uTarget owner, okay, let's make it just okay now. uTarget, and now we need a new function, and we call it supply. no, supply, supply, and else we hit. Okay, so now we have the supply thing, and this will public void supply, and we will increase unit count plus plus. Okay, but obviously only if our unit count is smaller than our capacity. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's try this out if it works. Just attack this guy a couple of times. Come on. Okay, now we now we own this circle, and yeah, we can click on it and we can send units from it. Okay, that works. And we already have kind of the game. Okay. Yeah, so this is it for this chapter. We covered a lot of things here. We almost made it a finished game, but for the next chapter I guess I will make the update mechanics, and after that I will get into the main menu so that you can start the game properly, and after that I will just make a little conclusion and what you can think of in ways to expand this game and make your own game. So follow to the next chapters, and I hope you learned anything and you had maybe a bit of fun. So see you around.